Record.
Hello, ladies. Looks like just Cheryl and Sally here today.
I guess so. Small group.
Yep, it usually is for events. which hopefully we can get things built up a little bit more as we go along.
Yes. How many tables do we have for this weekend?
Let me double check that right now, actually. That was one of the things. It's a smaller group. Marketplace.
Well, Marketplace, I think is going to be the August one then, because that's when you open up to multi-level marketing.
Yeah, I think right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 vendors as of right now.
Okay, so yeah, it is going to be fairly small.
So I had thought about, offering people either a refund or pushing it towards the next event. I'm not sure what I wanted to bring up today.
Are you gonna use the whole hall if you have only 7 people?
Um,
How many tables is that?
let's see.
Because you have 7 vendors, but some have multiple tables.
1, 2, 3, 4. How many did you end up getting, Sally? You got 3 or 2?
I got 3.
Mhm. Mhm. Between 9 and 12, because there was some people who are still pending on whether or not they were going to get a additional tables.
Yeah, I'm
People-
wondering how much of the weather is causing people to be
Yeah.
iffy.
Yeah, they're probably waiting because it's kind of iffy right now.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm wondering if we should take the initiative and just put our focus on a different event and cancel this one, or because the next one would be, hold on, February.
Next week, next month, April would be the dinner.
Yeah, April's the dinner, and then May is the tea party, and then June is the next one, and that's June 3rd and 4th.
Okay. And then we have one in August,
Correct.
and that's a marketplace in August.
Right, and that one's going to be both indoor and outdoor.
Right. On the August one, are we going to open it up with like games and things like that for making a community fest?
If we can get the manpower, yes.
Okay. And the one in June, is that artisan market or is that a marketplace?
That one is Artisan Marketplace.
Okay. Artisan market, we have the without the multi-level marketing.
Not for the Artisan Marketplace, no. The community festivals are multi-level.
Right.
The Artisan
then-
Marketplace is supposed to be handcrafted only.
Okay, so then that would be that if we skip this one, June would be just artisan market.
Correct.
Okay,
That's what it is right now anyways.
because you said artisan marketplace and I'm going, wait a minute. That's putting both names together.
Yeah, because the Artisan Marketplace is actually the name of it, and then the community festival, the community marketplace, that one was the multi-level mix, and that one's not till August.
Right.
So, I mean, what do you guys think about, with so few vendors and not a whole lot of feedback on it? Do you think we should just cancel it and offer refunds or push their money to the next event? Or what do you want to do?
How much advertising's been done about it already?
Basically same as normal. We've got Facebook, email, and Facebook, email, the website, but we have not done anything in the newspaper or anything like that at this point.
Yeah.
So what we could do is just change the date on it and keep it up there, but putting it for August or June instead.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. What do you think, Cheryl? I know you were,
Well, you only have about 7 and you don't know if you'll have more, and we don't know what the weather is, and people may be a little bit leery. I just doesn't seem like to bring in and have it for just a few people. And
Yeah.
they might get disappointed with the sales if we have some freaky things with snow, because there could be snow in some areas and not others. I know in some of the outer ones, we just don't know. It might not be a good experience. We might actually lose vendors in the future.
and
Right.
that was
If we're-
kind of my thought as well.
Yeah,
So
be
are you guys all in
proactive.
agreement then?
Yeah.
Then we should just cancel it for this month?
Right, yeah, be proactive so they have plenty of warning, so it's not done like the day before or something, so people
Oh,
can
yeah, I
plan.
was, looking
Okay.
at canceling it like right now.
But
Yeah,
if we're gonna cancel it, I think we should give the vendors a choice, whether they want to put it towards the April or the June, or if they want their money back.
Agreed.
yeah, I think that's
Um,
fair.
Like mine, I would just put it towards June.
Right.
So I mean, that's not a big deal for me. I'll just call my friend who's doing it with me and I'll tell her we're moving it to June instead.
Yeah, I think honestly that would probably be the better bet with between the weather and the not a whole lot of big response. I think that's probably our safest bet.
Especially since we're supposed to be getting more snow this week.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's snow in the daytime, but not the night, or the daytime is warm, but the nighttime is is supposed to be pretty cold.
Yes.
Yeah, in the 20s.
Yep. And so basically, they would be coming out even to set up on Friday. They'd have ice, there could be icy roads. It depends on how soon they start freezing up. The daytime might be 49, but the nights are in the 20s.
Exactly.
So, I mean, some people, like my friend who lives out in Seebeck, may not be able to come because of it.
Oh, Seebeck's really bad. They've really
Yeah.
been hit hard. Yeah.
Well, like my daughter down in Grapeview, they're supposed to have had 6 inches.
Oh, gosh.
And she says, oh, it's just a blanket. It's not, it's nothing it didn't stop her from going anywhere, or doing anything, but
Mhm.
somebody else it would.
Yeah,
If it, if it melts and then freezes again, they're on solid ice.
yeah.
So, yeah, I personally think it might be better just to say March is not a good month. Let's go ahead and do it for June.
I agree.
Yeah.
So are we all in the same agreement then?
Yes.
Yeah, we give our apologies and for safety and also for a better turnout, give some reasons why. So it shows that we're thinking of them, and we want the best for the vendors, but we also want people to come out and also for safety.
Right. And it also gives us a couple more months for advertising and getting things up. And
Yeah, we
Yes,
might
there are
And by-
some signs that I want to get printed out that are on like the vinyl, the big banners, and I would like to
Oh,
get
yeah.
those all done, and I was not able to get those done before this event.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing I would like.
But those
Yeah.
the vinyl ones, which I think are marvelous. I think that if we do something like that, we would just put Artisan Market this weekend or something and not put a date on it. So then it could
Correct.
be used over and over again.
Correct, that's the plan.
So, okay, I have a question that's off topic.
Okay, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
I was not able to be there on last Monday. Did they vote you in as executive director?
So I am executive director for 90 days on a probationary period to evaluate the benefits, pros and cons, etc.
Okay, I was just curious because you changed your title and I wanted to find out. I thought maybe they voted on it because I couldn't go to the meeting.
Yes, we did basically vote on it as far as a probationary period.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, back on topic.
Mhm.
I'm updating Facebook as we speak as well. So as far as the other events, is there anything that you guys would like to see happen better in the future other than publicity, because that is something we are currently working on.
Okay, yeah, because the Valpak will be coming out pretty soon.
Yes, and I am
We-
also going to take a page out of John Becker's book and start doing the Kitsap Sun. And because I'm realizing that more and more that is still a place that a lot of especially the elderly and people who've been around longer that
Mhm.
they tend to go to for their information still.
Yeah, you can get the paper. I get the paper, but I also automatically I have access online, and every day I get, they have headlines or whatever. So a lot of people are going to the online access for the paper.
Yes, and so I want to take advantage of that and get us on there on a regular basis as well.
Mhm.
Do they have one for nonprofit versus regular profit
Not that I know of.
advertising? That'd be worth checking into.
Yes.
We used to also do advertisement, well, when I was in the one where the foundation where we'd put on an annual ball. The local radio station would put on advertisements on their radio station. You'd get a certain number of times a week for free.
Yeah, and that is something we can even do with Comcast. They have ways that you can get, you can advertise directly to your demographic market.
And that might be beneficial to us.
Yes.
Anything that's cheap.
Yeah, we're trying to, and we may, mix it up a little bit and sometimes do one type of advertising and then the next month do another type of, or quarter, or
Right.
whatever, see what works best for us.
I got an advertisement on Facebook about a tea party that was going to be done in Lacey.
Yes.
And I'm going, well, we do that. Why can't we, and they had put it on where you would just, the advertisement, and then if you're interested, there was a link that you see for tickets and could get tickets right then and there.
Yes, and that is something we are able to do this year as well.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm just thinking that might get us a little more out there.
Yeah,
and a little-
basically what that was, it was a boosted post on Facebook. So it was a sponsored, they paid for the advertising to get sent directly to people in your demographic market. And it does work as far as getting it out there, but we didn't get a whole lot of response back. But it is something that we need to try here and there.
How expensive is it?
You can set your own budget, but it could be anywhere from $5 to $20 depending on how far and what people you're trying to reach out to.
Yeah, because when I get it up for the one for Lacey, I thought that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not near Lacey.
Yeah, it's about an hour and 20 hour.
Yeah, I know where it's at.
Yeah, hour
Yeah.
and a half, but
Yeah.
they want to draw from quite an area.
Yeah, so it all just depends on where you choose to advertise to.
Right. And I thought it was interesting. The kids, you pay for your kids to go, but not the parents.
Yeah, and that's how we were doing the pancake special too.
But I had not seen anything like that. Well, I hadn't seen anything like that before where I'm getting messages from Lacey of all places.
Oh yeah, that I get them all the time. It just depends on how far they want to reach out.
Nice.
And then speaking of tea parties, that is another thing we will be doing. And we still have all of the tea sets and the runners and the tablecloths from the last event. So there's not a whole lot that we need to purchase for that one except for food.
Right. Decorations and stuff are all there.
Yes, for the most part. I think we got rid of quite a few of the teacups and flowers. That's what we gave away, is using the using them as centerpieces, and then that was some of the bingo prize winnings. So that was a success. So that is something that we'll start advertising for and creating flyers for to get that boosted. I would like to see us. I did think, I mean, the last event went well. I think that having a little more entertainment during the event would be helpful, because there is a lot of running back and forth between the courses and such, but
Did you play music? Did you
yes,
have
yes, we
music?
had music
Okay.
going. We did a thing of bingo. We had 3 different tiers on platters of different
Mhm.
finger foods, and then we had the different types of tea. But it was just a matter, and to be fair, it was mainly Brandy and I who were running that event.
Mhm.
It definitely would have helped to have more people.
I
I
think I
thought
was,
Sandra was the one doing it last year.
I don't remember.
She wasn't able to be there last year.
Yeah, I think
Oh, okay.
I was sick. I was supposed to come and I was sick. I remember I missed it. Yeah, the main thing is things that we could do better to make it look a little more elegant, or, make it more like a tea ambiance or something. We might have some plans about that. Even if we took in some, I used to do retirements at work, and I had what kind of like a palm court. We got those fake palm trees and tall kind of greenery, and you put that here and there. It just gave it a little bit more of a soft touch.
Yes, I would love to see some some add-ons to what we currently have. That way, I think that would be great. And the more people we can get to help with these and advertise for them, the better. That's where it comes down to.
Okay, the tea party, is it going to be on a Saturday or Sunday?
I believe let me double check. I
We
believe
did a Sunday last year.
yeah, last year was Sunday. I believe this year it's a Saturday.
Okay, because Saturday's a little bit better for some of us.
Yep, Saturday the 6th of May.
Of May.
And then when is Mother's Day? The first Sunday in May?
Second Sunday.
Second Sunday. So that would be the 14th. So it won't be the Sunday right before. It'd be the week. Okay, good. So yeah, so that's still a good week or good time for us. I have advertised on the Facebook, on our Facebook page, that Artisan Marketplace is closed. I'm also going to mention it during our or on our vendors group as well. And then this year we can also have the kitchen crew to assist with the event, so it'll be a little easier to host.
What, the tea party?
Yes.
Okay.
Also at bingo, you can have it announced at bingo, because there might be some people at bingo who had planned to come or whatever. It just gets the word out better.
Yes, agreed. Agreed. Was there anything?
How is the vendors at bingo going?
It's hit and miss. I don't know how many different people they've had. I know we've had a few people show interest. Susan has tended to do the best because she has such a wide variety of items that she can bring in. So she does tend to have a little bit of a one-up on some of the others. But she has been doing, like, there are sometimes she's hold on one second. Some of there are some of the events where she's making, hand over fist, and there's other events where she's not making anything. So that was one of the things that Shonda wanted to propose, was that instead of doing a vendor's fee for like a table fee, but instead do a percentage of the sales. So if they don't make any money, we don't make any money, kind of thing.
Right.
So, and I think that would probably be a better outlet, because I think that will inspire more people to want to participate.
Right. But you have to come up with a standard amount, like 10% or something like that.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I think, that's what I believe she was proposing.
Well,
Um,
10% is really hardly anything. I
Yeah,
mean, I would go for 20%, because, I don't know what the volume of sales is, but you know, if you have $20 sales, you get $2. It's not very much. 'Cause,
Right,
you know,
but if you don't have, that's what she's saying. If we don't have a lot of sales, you're not gonna get a lot of money. And I think 10% is pretty healthy.
yeah, I think so too. Because if normally we only do, I mean, and even 15% would be, you know, I think going to 20 is a little bit much, but if even 15%, if they made $100, you know, we're making 15. Boys, stop.
yeah, well, yeah, maybe 15% might be better because, you know, anyone who does sales like that, it's a hit or miss and you take a chance. Usually you pay for your table fees. And most people are expecting to have to pay something, though I think they have a reduced number of hours. And then of course you have intermission, but we should get something. The one advantage is you already have the people there and we're not doing extra cleaning for it because it's all part of what we're doing for bingo. We don't lose out on that and they might buy some food. But I
Well,
think,
basically,
you
we
know,
only have an hour and a half to sell.
oh yeah, that's not much. Yeah, but
Right.
and if they're not there for the intermission, because some people might, you know, during intermission might buy, but they don't come that early. Part of it's the time that, you know, they're starting kind of early.
But they,
Okay.
from
all
what
right,
I
I'll write that down.
understand is, when they start bingo, we have to clean up and be out of there.
Yes,
Okay,
they don't want the distraction from the bingo.
Right.
And so they
Right.
just do it from the opening doors from 4 to 6.
Okay, that's a little bit different. Okay, I thought it was they stay and then they're open during intermission, but yeah,
No.
so anyway, yeah, 10% for that short a time, and that's not very much time for exposure. And
Exactly.
yeah, and then you know, and you're not charging a big table fee. They get something from it, and we get a little bit of money, and then maybe bring people back. Or, oh, I saw you there at bingo, you know. So I think we'd win all around on it.
Yes,
like
and that was definitely something that had happened the first time we had tried it,
Mhm.
was when Susan was there. She was like, well, I'll have more things and different things at the next event at this date. And then she was handing out pamphlets to that date. So
Oh,
it
that's
was
smart. That's
a double
smart.
exposure. So it worked out really well.
But
Yeah.
she also was
Mhm.
saying that, she would bring one thing like purses. Another time she'd bring something else. So
Yeah.
it was exclusively one thing and only one thing she was
Yeah.
selling.
Yeah.
And that's
Um,
not always the case, because there are sometimes that she was bringing in purses and wallets, and you know, but it was basically under a theme, and that did tend to help,
Mhm. Okay.
especially with packing up, and because she could lay everything out very quickly and then pack everything up very quickly.
Well, one thing is, if you kind of know who might be coming when we're posting about bingo or something, or on our website or whatever, if we know ahead of time that a vendor is going to be there for sure, we can advertise it for bingo and say, you know, we have the such and such vendors, so then people might be more interested to come early.
Yes.
But that's if people make a definite commitment or they sign up or you know that they're coming.
Yes, and that is something we have been trying to do
Yeah.
with the first group, is get more information, you know, get more
Mhm.
exposure, and those who, you know, so that people have the chance to sign up. And so, yeah, we're all on the same page there.
And we could even take pictures of it too and have it part
yeah.
of our advertising, you know, and, you know, I just think that would help too.
I agree.
but like Susan said, you know, she told me at our, you know, the last thing I did with them, I think was the rummage sale. She was saying that you don't want to bring the same thing each time because they might buy out all, you know, buy a lot one time And then they see it again and, oh, they're not interested.
Yep.
Right, right.
Absolutely. And that's why switching out the vendors is a really good system.
Like Susan said, switch out vendors, switch out what you sell each time.
Yep.
Because she was doing it like 3 days with 3 days in a row, she said. It's, she'd have 3 different sets of stuff that she was bringing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because she was coming Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and each day she'd bring something different.
Right.
Yes.
Did she
So-
sell something? Did she sell something? Did she sell each day? I mean, did she make money each day?
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
She did.
Okay, that's good.
She was telling me that she was doing very well at it.
Okay.
But she said that she had the same thing like 2 days in a row, and one day was excellent, and the next day was nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of the
Okay.
times because a lot of the people that are coming to bingo are the same people. They want to see something different because they may have bought, one thing on Tuesday, but they want to see what else you got on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right.
If you got all the same items, they're like, oh, well, I've already got that.
One other thought is, maybe if someone wanted to sell, but they couldn't come, or, someone could pay like a flat fee, and then we could have someone from the club man their table, and we still would take a percentage, but they would get the money. If, that would be another possibility. Or if someone, wanted to come, or they were going to be sick or couldn't do it, but I don't know how popular that would be, but that's another thing we can offer.
I like that idea too. And these are all things I wish I'm hoping Shonda can come here soon. I know that she's getting her internet updated today, and so she hasn't had internet at all today. But then hopefully she can join us in on that conversation as well, and have us a little more insight.
Yeah, make some new ideas on it.
Yeah.
And I do realize that bingo is the major fundraiser for the club.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
But with the Valpak, it seems like bingo, it gets so much more advertising than anything else. This
Yeah, they
last time,
get one side and we get the other is kind of how we have it.
right, except last time you had a little line at the bottom for, the things that were coming up. And on the other side, it was supposed to be, giving the advertisements for what was coming up, but there was also bingo on there. Anyway, mine came up that way, that there was, a big picture for bingo on both sides.
Okay, yeah, I never got the Valpak, but I thought what we had seen or what we had approved was bingo on one side and the events, the other events on the other. But they may have just put all the events, bingo and regular events on the event side.
Right. Well, what they did was they had bingo on one side, and then they had like little tiny strip, like a ribbon at the
Mhm.
bottom where it said, this was coming up, this was coming up, and this was coming up.
Now you
That
don't
had
see
the
it.
other things.
Mhm.
And then on the other side, it was supposed to have advertisements for, the different things that were coming up, the rummage sale, the artisan market, and I don't remember the dinner, but they had
Mhm.
another picture of bingo on there.
Oh,
back.
yeah, it had just been an oversight because that one was a rushed coupon, because when we requested it, we only had a day or two to get in on that quarter. And so they had done it up for us because we didn't create it. They create it for us. We just tell them what we want. So it was mainly just an oversight. Shonda and I have already been working on the next Valpak because they have gotten a huge response from it. And their bingo numbers have risen dramatically. Rummage sale numbers were up quite a bit, so hopefully this is an ongoing rise and we can continue to take advantage of these numbers. So
Oh.
but I do agree, we want to make sure that it is as equal as possible, but bingo definitely brings in 80% of our revenue.
Yeah,
Right.
a lot of people don't even know, you mentioned it, they don't even know the club exists.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you have a lot of new people coming in and out, and they're looking for different things, and there aren't too many bingo opportunities around. Not everyone wants to go to a casino environment either.
Yeah.
Like some people like myself, I don't do bingo.
Mhm.
You know, that has no interest to me. But like the artisan market has more interest to me than that does.
Right,
Right.
which is why we want to
And
try to
so-
give it as balanced of a exposure as possible.
Right.
And that is something for the next one. We do have the artisan marketplace, which now we're just going to do the June, and then we've got the tea party. And those are the main ones we'll be advertising, so they should have a little bit more space on the back of the next one.
Right. We could advertise the members dinner and say, here's here's, go to the website to join.
Yeah,
Just as something, to fill up the back. And I do realize that now that bingo players are now looking for them, the
yeah,
ads. So they, our stuff is going to always be on the back. I know that. But it'd be nice if occasionally that we were on the front and the bingo was on the back.
yeah. Well, if we can start bringing in as much money as they do, that may be something we could do. But basically, it's a 50-50. There's front and back.
Right. Yeah. You know how much I made at the rummage sale?
Yeah, I know. I heard.
$2.50.
$2.
And that's the thing, you never really know. There have been events that I have paid like $100 for the table, and I didn't get anything. I sold literally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
that's
mean-
hit or miss.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
it's funny because my friend made 21 something.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
this was the
Never
first one that I've made. I mean, my stuff is under $5. A lot of it's $3 or less. And I made $125, which is a lot for me. Of course, I bought some stuff too, but I was ahead. I was really happy.
That's awesome. Yeah, it
First
was a
good
great
one,
crowd for
first
the
good
last
one.
Well,
Pardon?
I've done rummage sales before and I've always done well with it, but did nothing with ours. So I just thought that was interesting.
Yep. You
Yeah,
just never know.
It's the crowd and also that kind of stuff. I know that, well, I sell vintage and antiques. There's a lot of dealers that come in, they look for vintage and collectibles and stuff. We've always had that crowd. And then you have people who come back every year, and then you have, the neighborhood people, and people are looking for house goods and or certain kinds of things. They're very particular about what they're looking for. And then the flowers too, that had a lot of attention and took a lot, people were paying attention to that more.
Yes.
So it's different, a little bit different crowd. It's changed a little bit from what it used to be a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's just kind of all changing.
Yeah.
And we just kind of got to adapt where we can and, continue to build on what we've learned from each event and hopefully make the next one better.
hmm
Was there anything else that anybody had on tonight's agenda?
Let's see, we talked about the tea thing. Okay, the dinner. I don't know if oh yeah, about the membership now. We are asking people to pay. I mean, do you know offhand what our membership amount is right now?
$20.
Pardon?
It's our membership fees are $20.
No, I mean the number of people.
Number of members.
That makes a difference on who's going to help with stuff. The lower the number of members, less help you have. And
Currently have 67 members, and we are about to get a huge influx because the co-op are joining. One family is getting a membership, or each family is getting a membership, and they have. Hold on a second.
no, we did better when we had at least 100 people.
Oh,
Because
of
then
course.
once we were under 100, things, because not a lot of people, they don't do anything, but you had to have a certain amount. And then I was wondering about Rose Gunsel and the Sunshine Committee, if anyone's taking over on that.
We don't have anybody as of yet.
And I know as part of the general meetings on the Sunshine Committee, the person who was in charge of that, they always told who they sent the cards to, or if someone had died, and they put that in the minutes, because the people didn't know what was going on with anyone. And we never have really heard back on that. And I think that should be reinstated.
Yeah, if we can find somebody that is able to take over the Sunshine Committee, because she was just never showed up at any of the meetings, and she wanted to
Right.
continue to do it, but she was just never available to give her the reports. So definitely in the future, we would like to see that. So we currently have 67 members, and we have another 31 families from the co-op that are going to be joining.
So
Oh,
are they
okay.
going to get the $50 memberships?
They are doing $20 for each person, because they are choosing to do it by I offered the kids club memberships and I offered the family memberships, but as of this year, because there's only 6 weeks left in the school, they are just going to do the individual memberships for one of the parents.
Mhm.
And then next year we will reevaluate.
Okay. So are they going to come to the dinner in April?
I don't know, but they are able to. But
Right.
but it's only
One
for the
parent.
individual members, and then if they want to, yeah, if they're planning on their kids to coming, then they pay for their own children.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, we were talking about in the board and general membership that with our cards, our new cards, our number would be, if we use our number and then it tells us how active we are.
So that is something we are working on implementing. We're still hammering out all the details, but basically every event that you go to will have the point of sale system set up so that you can scan your card and it will tell the QuickBooks who is showing up at what events, how often they're showing up, and then it'll also, at that same barcode, will also give you your membership discount for going to the cafe, for buying your tables, things like that. So all
Yeah.
of that should hopefully be on record once we get once we
Mhm.
get the system input.
Okay, because what I was going to suggest is, when we're going to register for like the artisan market, and we're supposed to put in the code members, and it didn't work, at first. What about putting in our membership number?
If I can figure out how to do that, I will let you know. That is something that I was hoping that I'd be able to do. But I have not figured that part out yet.
Okay, because that way, if somebody drops out, their number gets, taken out. And that way they're not put as a member. If you know what I mean.
I don't. Can you explain that again?
Okay, we're talking about where each of us has our own number. And we put it in, it gives us a discount at the cafe. It gives us, it lets the club know how active we are.
Right.
So if we're going to do like the artisan market or the rummage sale or something like that, for our discount code, if we're able to, and bring it to that, if we're able to, we put in our membership number. And that if the membership is active, then it's going to give you the discount. If it's not active, it would be taken off the active list and it wouldn't give them the discount.
Okay, yeah. So that is something we might be able to implement in the future. I was just having this conversation, is bringing back the active members versus just the regular members. Right now, because our membership roster is so low, we want to encourage everyone to participate. And then once
Right.
they're in, then we can give maybe an additional certain percent for active members, but we want to be able to give all members at least some discount because
Right.
we have to have benefits of being a member. But
I understand that. That's what I was wondering if that was a possibility.
Yes, and it might be in the future. I'll continue to familiarize myself with QuickBooks and see how far I can stretch it.
Okay, because that would be, that would help a little bit, with, if my code doesn't work and having to go through you and say,
Yeah.
Sandra, it's not working, and you having to hassle with it. that would just, everything is done by number and not by, name or anything like that.
And it sounds easy, but setting it up can be a whole different.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It can be a real headache, I know.
Yes, and so that's what I have to figure, because every member currently has their own barcode, so I have to keep track of each barcode. And so if each barcode is different, then that's where having that, it's harder to track that way. So, but I will keep that in mind. Point that out.
people
But
aren't
a lot of
always,
that,
go ahead.
a lot of that is the hard part and the long part is putting the setup, but once it's set up,
Yes,
then it kind of flows easier,
yes,
but it's a
exactly.
pain to set up.
Well, one thing is sometimes people will forget their card. And there should be another option, an or option where they can put in something and be identified, because I think the card idea is good. But the reality is that people don't always have it with them, or can get lost or something. And I don't know if there's a replacement process or whatever, but there should be another option where we could track them.
Yeah, you can still look things up by their name. I can
Okay.
still, pull up the membership roster and be like, yeah, you're still an active member.
Okay.
This just makes
Okay.
it one of those things where if you can just scan it and you don't have to go through that hunt and seek process. But
Okay.
there is the alternative still.
But if you did that with your name, I mean, the barcode, I mean, I imagine that it goes someplace and you get your tick mark. But if I put the name in, does someone have to manually go in and do that? Or is that going to be automatic if you fill in the information?
It can't, it's still something I'll have to figure out. I haven't figured all that out
Yeah, I
yet.
just wondered, because I know that people forget cards and they lose them
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything.
Oh, yeah. And as of right now, the
Mhm.
barcode is attached to their name, so you should be able to
Oh.
find one or the other.
Okay.
It is, yeah, I have input all of the names and the barcodes so that we have either or.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Now, ladies, I need to get my kids by 7:30, so I have to leave
Okay,
here
that's
in the
fine.
next 7 minutes or so, but is there anything else that anybody wanted to add or discuss?
Not on my end.
Not on my end.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we covered everything, and so let's move on.
All right, sounds good. Well, then I appreciate you guys' help. And everything. We will continue to build on, and if you can spread the word on your pages that the artisan marketplace is canceled or postponed. We won't say canceled, we'll say postponed.
One thing I
Um,
saw a pop-up thing. I don't know if Kayla's on. There's a chat question. You might want to check there. 'Cause
Oh,
I
yes,
saw
we've been chatting in the chat as well on the side.
Okay, so I didn't know if there was an issue she wanted to have discussed because we were about to leave. So
Yeah, she was asking about the Sunshine Committee. She might be willing to help us out with that.
okay,
She was asking if we'd be if they would be responsible for tracking down the information. No, you won't be responsible for tracking down that information. It's basically if somebody calls and it gives us that information or we happen to find out.
Yeah.
And the birthdays, as we get our new memberships in, we are trying to track the birthdays so we can start sending birthday cards and say happy birthday to those each month at our meetings.
well, I have
Well, also-
I have a little package of extra cards that I can donate if I just know who to give it to.
Okay. If you want to
Um,
just donate it to the office, and then once we
Okay.
get our official person, we can get it to them.
Okay,
Well, also my mind just went blank. The newsletter could have all that information in it too.
Yes, and that is something I do want to add. And I have been working on the newsletter. It's been in about 90% completed for the last week or so. And I've been getting proofreaders and trying to get any last minute information before I send it out. So because I'm working on a new format, trying to get it to match the last one a little better. So
okay.
and then Kayla has volunteered to be our new Sunshine Committee. So thank you so much, Kayla. And then I will make sure you have all the information you need in order to do your job. So if you want to just hit me up on GroupMe, I will get you that info.
And one other thing with the Sunshine, when someone passed away in the past, if they were an active member, they could get that discount on using the hall for like a reception. I did that when John died. But
Yes,
that was
and I
another
still
thing.
honor that.
Yeah, we still have to know. That's why it's important also that we know who is sick or whatever, because people, they have no idea. So that was why it was included in the general meeting notes, so people knew, and also just to discuss about giving the rate, the reduced rate, who got that. So,
Yeah, at this point, if they are a current member, they are getting the discounted rate.
okay, so that it's not because if just being a member, or they had to be an active member before. It
Yeah,
was
right
like,
now we are not able to track active members very well.
okay,
So
okay.
we are just offering it to all members. And then once we get the new barcode and all that system set up, hopefully it'll be easier to track.
Yeah, and the funeral, it had to be for a member. It couldn't be for someone else. It had to be your personal, for your
Right.
personal use. That was a tickler, but okay, because we have some also, they used to do it where we had old members. They called them, I don't know what Carol tells they're called them, but they have been long-term members for years in the club, and they're not participating now because maybe they've gone to a retirement home or something, but they've honored them with the a card and everything, and sometimes they've been able to get the hall because they were long-term active members. And I don't know if we're going to continue that part of the process that we used to do.
Well, why don't we discuss this at the next either board or membership meeting? But I need to get going, ladies. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's
Okay,
right.
not a
Sorry.
problem. Have a
All
good
right.
evening.
You too.
All right,
Thanks, guys.
bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.